So we're starting something different.
Yep.
See how this goes. I have Trevor from Boot Tracks on the Ground, and we're hopefully going to be finding a bunch of these tomorrow, or at least making this trip down worth it. Just going to talk some antler, talk some hunting.
Yep.
And
see how it goes.
Maybe how we got into the situation of picking up fingernail clippings. That's my wife.
Fingernail clippings, I like it.
But yeah, so start off a question. Are you afraid of snakes? As my 4-year-old wanted to know if you were afraid of snakes.
Am I afraid of snakes? Well, I got one tattooed on my arm, so I can't be.
Yeah, well, that's good.
I'll do it. Let me just say it this way. If they give me a warning, the warning will scare me, but the snake itself will not. Rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
But, no, I'm not, I guess.
Good. I am. I don't like snakes. No snakes for me. No, it's good. Spiders I'm okay with.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm okay with spiders. But snakes,
let me see. No. I am not a fan of salamanders.
Really? Those cute little
things?
Dude,
no. That's my weakness.
You probably like alligator lizards then, too. You probably had one as a pet.
Lizards don't bug me, but if I'm swimming in the water and I see a salamander, I'm out. I'm telling you.
Fair enough. I'm out if I see a snake, so yeah, fair enough. I actually don't even like swimming in water, but I can't see the bottom of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Problem. All right, so what brought you into shed hunting? Like, when did you start? Like, maybe when was your first shed that you found to when was it right then that you were like all about it, or did it take you a few years to really, really get into it?
Yeah, so for you guys who don't know, my dad, he's a government trapper in Douglas County.
Oh, nice.
And so he would take me on his job on all these big ranches that never get shed hunted. Basically kind of like what we did a few years ago with kids shed hunting.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I like. The only way to describe it. They're picking up
shed everywhere.
And so I remember my very first shed. It was a real shed per se, where we were mushroom hunting, and I got bored looking for mushrooms, and I found a shed. And I was like, oh, this is cool, you know. And then I was like, Dad, I want to go find more of these. And so he took me on one of the ranches, and that's where it just was like, oh, dude, this is cool. Like,
cool stuff.
Oh, there's a shed. Oh, here's. I didn't care if they're old or what. I mean, it was just fun.
Yeah.
And so after that, it kind of just sparked an interest where I would, every day after school, I'd go in the woods, hiking in random timber patches. Maybe find one, maybe not, but it just got fun.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what really sparked it for me, was that, and it just kind of took off from there. But
yeah.
But I was, I don't know, I want to say like 14 or 15 when I found my first one. And then every other chance I could after high school or after school, I'd go and start finding them.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what sparked it for me, really. I don't know.
Nice.
But,
very nice.
Yeah.
These are all the firsts.
Okay.
Roman is the only one that doesn't have one.
Yeah.
My dad found that one. Rochelle's is that one. Mine's this one. This spike here, it's basically a spike. It's Titus's first one.
Mm-hmm.
This little forked horn is Isaac's first one. This is Thalia's first one.
Yeah.
That's Roman needs to find his, but he's not quite there yet.
Yeah.
We're gonna wait a little bit. But no, I found that when I was 12.
Okay.
And I would find them off and on, but it wasn't a big, like, I didn't start searching for them until I found this one.
Yeah.
And when I found that one, I really started looking for it, and I was 16 when I found it. And when I found him, I got onto it and started, but it wasn't until about 18. Well, no, take that back. So 16, so 96.
Yep.
96, and then
96. I wasn't even born yet.
Oh no, I feel bad. I'm gonna go crawl in a hole now. So found this guy, and it wasn't until probably really started getting into it. Probably around 2006. Yeah, somewhere in there. Like I really focused on trying to go out and trying to find them. Instead of just like randomly. I'm hunting and I'm finding them, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then getting more into it, somebody goes, "Hey, you need to watch this video."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, well, what is it? What is it?" And it was Eric Chesser and his Fireball.
Yep.
And when I watched that, that just was like, okay, we can do this. Let's get more. Let's do more. Because I started watching his other videos that they were doing.
Yep.
But no, that's my side of it. Where do you find most of your sheds? Like, what do you look for when you're looking for a place to like eyeball?
I mean, for me, it's kind of different for everybody. But in the country I like to go in the high country.
Okay.
And so what I'll do is I'll just get on Onyx and tell you what. Nowadays, people got the world at their fingertips for shed hunting.
Oh yeah.
With the maps and stuff.
The maps and
so that's what I'll do. I get on Onyx and I'll go to a satellite imagery. And I'll just start out on one like zoomed way out, and I'll go into the area I like, and then I like, oh, there's a meadow, and then I'll zoom in, and then I'll just kind of pick the area apart. Like, oh, okay, I could get to this meadow by this road, or oh, there's a big timber patch here, and I'll just kind of pick it apart like that. Oh, this is south facing, so I kind of just start out on Onyx and start out really wide area. And once I find one, I'll just find an area I like, I'll just zoom in and kind of pick it apart like that. And that's kind of how I do it. I like the big steep high country with the big meadow or meadows and the big timber around it.
Oh,
I think that's kind of what everybody does. But
you're killing me. I'm going to die.
Oh.
All right. So you're a little more map motivated than I am. I'm getting there. Most of mine I'd hunted by foot when I was a kid,
right.
So like I picked most of that. So I'm just now getting into like looking at different areas, trying to find that sweet spot between right around 2,400 to 3,000 feet. Right in there is where I find most of my sheds, right in there.
Right.
I know they're above that because I watch videos where people are shed hunting well above that.
Yeah.
And I have a couple spots that I've been eyeballing. I'm like, that would be kind of interesting. I'm not sure if I want to go in there quite yet.
Yeah.
But so I'm using the maps for my elevation finding spots where I can get in quickly because in Jackson County we voted in a green dot system.
Okay.
So your secondary roads and your maintained third roads are mostly, or access roads are mostly open. But anything off of that, they don't have a green dot. You can't drive on them from, I think it's October 15th to the end of April, last day of April. So the first day of May, they're drivable.
Yeah, so like on the roads, they got like a signer with the green dot.
So they'll have the sign number, the Fish and Wildlife sign number. They'll have that sign number. They'll have a green sticker on it, a green circular sticker, and that can be a pain in the butt if you don't want to walk.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's funner not to walk.
Right.
Especially when you're doing 2 miles on the road to get to where you want to go to then start shed hunting, and then you have to then hike all the way back out.
Yeah.
Which is one of my spots my oldest spot that I have. That's kind of how that is.
Right.
I'm hiking 2 miles ish on the road to then drop down.
Yeah.
Get in there. And it's uphill in, then downhill. So it's the exact same way. You're not going to break. So that can make it difficult, but it also, I think, provides an opportunity to find areas where not people aren't going to necessarily go, until later on in the year.
Yeah. That's kind of how I like it is. So when I very first started out, I just went everywhere that was around where my parents lived. As far as my mom would let me drive, really was, I'll just go here close to one of my driving areas. But now, I just try to go to where, if there's a tree crossroad, I leave the tree and I just start hiking. Like, I would rather go to a place where I know not many people are going to go because all my old stomping grounds are now hit by everybody who lives in the valley or whatever. So I just try to get deeper and steeper into anywhere no one's not willing to go, really. But nowadays it's hard because everybody's got that motivation, really.
Really, they do. Everybody's got the motivation, and everybody has their favorite spots. And
oh yeah,
but it's hard nowadays to to really you're not going to be the only one in the area,
right?
Like it's you might not have another shed hunter in the area, but you're going to have other people in the area.
More than likely, you'll find a piece of garbage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, the other day I went on a hike, and I tell you what, I was finding beer bottles. I'm like, why am I finding so many beer bottles?
Yeah.
Randomly, just beer bottle here, beer bottle there.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is it falling out of the sky? Where is this coming from? Because there was roads in there, but where I was finding them, I wasn't near the road.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on here? So yeah, no, you're gonna find trash, and then you're gonna find those trash heaps.
Yeah.
Which is so annoying.
It's crazy. Every time I tell somebody, oh yeah, I go shed hunting, just about the response is, oh, what, do you drink beer when you do it? No, I don't drink beer when I do it.
No.
I like to find sheds, but I think a lot of guys, that's just why they go out to shed hunt, is just to drink beer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just another excuse.
No thanks. No beer drinking.
I don't know.
I like to stay upright.
Yeah, I would actually be able to find something.
Yep.
So
no,
I don't know. Maybe that's why you find so many beer cans. Is that's what they're doing, is just having an excuse to drink.
Well, that would suck.
Yeah,
I just have to say that would suck.
I agree.
Very possible. Very possible. But so this is one you just found.
Yep. And I tell you what, it does not look that impressive compared to the ones you got.
I like it. He's got good character to him.
Yeah.
He's got this twist going on right here, and that is very interesting. I wish I knew what that eye guard is, because it looks like it could.
It's got an inch at the base, realistically, and it probably I don't know.
It could have been pretty darn big.
Yeah, it would have been impressive to see, but.
So he's going to pull. He's possibly going to pull two kickers right there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So, question: are you going to try to put cameras in the area you found this? Try to get.
That's the plan. It's kind of I don't know if it's a popular place. In my mind, it would be, but then again, you never know until you see. And nowadays, you don't know if people are going to rip your cameras off or what. So
you just hope you have nice people.
That's exactly.
Pray over it, and walk away.
Yep.
Be like, yeah, no, I hope you. Does this look familiar?
It look familiar.
Yeah.
Where is he at? Yeah, you're in one of the spots. Oh, there he is.
Genetics are everywhere.
Yeah.
I guarantee you these aren't anywhere near each other.
I doubt it, but it's crazy similarity.
It's interesting.
Yeah, was one of my favorite ones I found last year, actually.
Yeah.
And I tried to find years or just the other side or something, but
yeah,
couldn't do it. That's my luck. I always find the one side, and then after that, they were all just unicorn bucks.
Unicorn bucks.
Yep. My excuse.
Unicorn bucks. Yeah, once and done.
Yep.
No, it's. I think it's hard. I know a few people that have found bucks. One person in particular, he had one for 9 years, I do believe it was.
Uh-huh.
And I found one of the sides that they hadn't picked up yet.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, "Hey, I think this," and I was, so I got a hold of him, and sure enough, it was one they were missing from that deer. But
right on.
yeah, no, finding back to backs or matching them up. Like I have this forked horn. I don't have the good small one that goes with this. That's actually a set.
Yeah.
But I've got. This is how it should go. I got 3 years off of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, basically besides the first one that I found, I only have the left antler.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like, but he's still in there.
Oh yeah, that's cool. He'll probably be a forked horn his whole life, maybe.
I think so. I don't think he's gonna do anything but that. That's gonna be his lot in life. He looks good though on camera, but be his lot in life. No. So what do you have planned for hunting this year?
Oh, honestly, I'm definitely planning on archery hunting out of the late season for the first time ever.
Nice.
In the years past, I've hunted traditional, and it's never gone good for me. And that was for elk lease, and so I always rifle hunted. And 2 years ago, I bought a long range rifle, 6.5 PRC, and that was fun. But now I'm ready to switch it up again and dump all my money into a bow.
Yeah.
And see how that goes. I watching the Nathan Endicott film stuff. That's got me hooked on wanting to do it. And I love shed hunting the high country, so I'm going to try a bow hunt it. We'll see. But that's kind of my plan. Looks fun. So
it's like it's kicking the pants. So are you gonna try to do like spot and stock, saddle sit?
I really don't know. My kind of plan is to saddle hunt a lot.
Yeah.
That just looks fun too. So, and I don't know. I've always been a guy to I always say, "Oh, I'm going to film my hunts. Going to film my hunts." Well, when it comes down to it, I just screw it. I want to get my wife a buck. Or I want to focus on her, or I want to focus on me, and I just drop the ball on filming. And I feel like with the saddle hunting, it's just you got your camera set up, push record, do a little vlogging. So I might go that route. We'll see.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm going to definitely give her a go. Yeah.
So at that, what kind of bow are you looking at?
Definitely, I really like the RX-8, the Hoyt.
Yeah.
I mean, thing is, in my opinion, the bows don't hold their value. They come out with a brand new one every single year, so I don't know. I want to get a newer one, but I don't want to buy the newest because next year is going to be outdated again.
Yeah.
And as long as you put the arrow where it's supposed to go, it's going to kill it, no matter if it's 10 years old or 1 year old.
That is true. I've never had a deer ask me what type of bow I had when I shot it. It just kind of ran away.
Yep.
So no, that's no, I know a lot of people. Everybody has their favorites. Like you have Matthews and you have Bowtech, and I shoot emissions, which is made by Matthews. It's their not low end, but it's their economy line, as you would say.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely love it. I have 3 of them in the house. My wife has one, and my oldest boy has one. I'll get Titus one when he decides he's finished his hunter safety and go into that. He wants to bow hunt and does not want a rifle hunt.
Perfect.
So that's fine. We can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I finally I bought a ladder stand. See, when did my stuff get stolen last? Was it 20?
All your stuff?
Yep.
Dang it.
I think it was 20. So I've had this double-seated ladder stand for like 4 years. I specifically at that point went, okay, well, we're just going to do this. I bought it so I can have them sit with me, or so I can sit with them while they're
in the stand.
Yep. So then it's by the safety line, the lifeline. I think that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And you tether it to the top, and you go down and you tether it to the bottom, and it slides up and down, so you're secure on your harness all the way up, all the way down. You get out a double one of those, have them sit in it. We figure out how we needed to position, and then of course I don't film this first shot. just the way it went in. And that was a highlight. That was definitely a fun hunt. I've been along with him and helped him get several deer rifle hunting, but the bow hunting it took me a little bit to get him to want to. Well, it took me a little bit to convince him to get him into it and want to try it, and then he also kept seeing what I was producing bigger than what he was seeing. And my spot that I have, it doesn't produce the big bucks or bigger bucks until the bow season. It typically just doesn't. So he saw that and he was getting a little more curious. And I was like, okay, well, you have to hit this certain poundage before we can do this. And so he hit it, and I've been seeing this buck, seeing this guy running around. And he'd come in a couple times during the day, but never when I was there. Or I should say, never when my dad was there. But what happened that day? So we got up and we were sitting. And we'd been late. We got in late, and we'd seen some deer up on the hill, and one of them was a buck. I don't know if it was him or not. I have no clue, but we could see he was up there. and it's like, okay, that might be the only. I'm starting to think
Yeah.
that's the only deer we're going to see. So we're
Yeah.
sitting there, and I'm like this, and I put my phone in my pocket like this, and I kind of zip it up. So we're sitting there, and I mean, it was like a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And Isaac's sitting there next to me. He's on my right, and he goes, "Doe's coming in." I went, "Okay, cool. Doe's coming in."
Mm-hmm.
Soon as I see her, I'm like, "Okay, what's behind her? Because something's behind her. Because she's coming in wide eyes." And sure enough, there he comes, and he's down. And he knew something was up. He was on. He was like, "Wait a minute, I really want her, but I don't know about that." And we weren't moving. We were just kind of sitting. That's why I was like, as soon as I saw him, I'm like, "Yeah, I ain't moving. Forget my phone. That ain't happening. We're not doing that.
Yeah,
I am not screwing this up." So we're sitting there watching him. He was head bobbing us.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was. I have a couple pictures from game camera, and he's back behind her, and he's just kind of sitting there. And it doesn't show in the pictures, but he head bobs us even then.
Yeah.
And then he gets in closer, and he's sitting there head bobbing us even more. And she kind of butts her out, and he starts eating, and he's sitting there just doing this. And I'm like, when he turns his head, you're going to need to, because he had his bow down, and I told him, you need to hook your release up.
Yeah.
So it's one less thing you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't listen to me. So he's sitting there, and he hooks his release up, and the deer turns, and I'm looking. I'm kind of waiting to see him roll over.
Yeah.
I'm like, why didn't you? He goes, I can't shoot him like that. I'm like, you just need your bow up.
Yeah.
So he turns again. He gets his bow up, and then hindsight, he needs to be comfortable with the shot he's taking. I would have shot him at this point.
Yeah.
Like I would have. The shot was. I would have took the shot.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, I'm sitting there, and deer turns again. I'm like, he just doesn't draw back, and I'm like, why didn't you draw back? And he's like, I don't like the angle. It doesn't look good. I don't like that. I was like, okay, well, he's gonna leave. Like he's not gonna stay here forever. So when he turns around again, you need to make your move.
Yeah.
So he stepped forward and kind of opened up that shoulder a little bit, and then turned and opened it up more. Well, he drew back, and he draws back. The deer kind of steps forward even further, gives him a clean shot. Looks like this, and it's one of those things where when you, even with a rifle, you squeeze that trigger off and it goes off. There's that second you see what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's either, oh, sweet, or it's,
oh, that's bad.
Darn it.
Yeah.
That sucks. But it was that second, and he lets go, and that buck spins.
No.
So his shoulder's here. He spins and swings and cuts between those 3 oak trees.
Yeah.
And when he does that, he shoves his butt right in that.
Oh.
And he just drills him. And I'm like, oh boy, that's okay. It could be worse, but I'm looking at it. Well, what I really was like, what made me a little more confident about it, even though it's not the shot you want, but it's like, you can't control it. Once you release the arrow, what happens after that is it's what's going to happen. And when he ran, he took a bound, he bounded again, and a 3-foot swath of squirt just went right out the back of the arrow, and it's lying on the ground. It's in the hunt video, and it's lying on the ground. It's about a yardstick long. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, so we hit that artery in the back, which is, I think it's I forget what, ventricle artery or something like that. I forget the technical term for it, but it's back in there. Yeah. I'm like, okay, so he's gonna die, and I thought I'd heard him fall down. Yeah. So we'd gotten down out of the stand about 10 minutes. We'd sat there about 10 minutes. Got down out of the stand, started tracking. Well, I think he fainted. So we're sitting there kind of tracking, and my boy's a little bit ahead of me, and he goes, Dad, he's up there. He's lying down. He's looking at us. So I kind of peek around. I'm like, okay, let's go back this way. Yeah. So he's over here. We drop back down this way, move down, and come up underneath him. Okay. And I just told my boy, I said, don't look at him. Keep him in your peripheral. Don't look at him. Knock your bow. Keep your bow ready to go. Yeah. And we walked in with about 30, I think it was 30 yards right about there. Mm-hmm. And he obviously wasn't going anywhere because he wasn't even trying to move. Mm-hmm. And so I just squared up. So do you think you can do the shot? Can you shoot him again? Probably could have just stayed there and just let him die. Yeah. I think he would have bled out right there. But also, you never know. Right. Like you don't know. Like all of a sudden it decides it can go, and it goes, and then you don't find it. did a really good job doing the follow up shot. I was impressed. Him. People were like, "Oh, it's gut shot," and it's like it was when you slow it down in slow motion. The way the shoulder was positioned, laying down, it was right behind that shoulder.
Yeah.
And standing up, it was a little far back. To be honest, though, when we cleaned him out, he wasn't that bad. Like he got the piece of the liver and like a little bit of the upper part of the intestine there.
Yeah.
And that was that. That was it. Mine was worse than his was, and I shot mine right through the heart. But it hit. When mine hit, it hit one of those ribs, and the ribs fragmented and shattered through the entire everything. Yeah. And so it looks like the second shot looks like it's a gut shot, but like what we found, it wasn't that bad. And I was stoked. It was fun. Yeah, I mean, he went like 15 feet after that. Yeah. And just that was it. And so it's like really, we could have probably just made him run. Like just walked right up to him and made him get up, and he would have been done. Yeah. But yeah, that was a highlight. That was a lot of fun. He wants to go back to rifle hunting, which is fine. That's fine. Yeah. If you want to do that, it's okay. That was definitely a highlight of being dad and dad guide, as I would say. Yeah, yeah. No, for sure. You know, it's exciting. Get him out there and get him shed hunting this year too. But
that's your son who found the 3-point.
So Titus, yes. So Isaac shot. That's his buck. Titus is getting his hunter safety, doing all that. He wants the bow hunt. But he was I got him out first this year shed hunting. I haven't got Isaac out yet. Copy. But we got him out, and in an area that I've been before. Yeah. I wanted to just kind of see what was going on. A lot of deer sign in there, but I think the elevation. I think I need to be a little higher. Although we were finding sheds. Right. A couple sheds where we were at. But I don't know. Well, that was. I'm looking forward to this year. Yeah, yeah. I think
it's going to be a good year. 2025. I just feel it's going to be a good year.
Yeah, I think you've had a pretty good year. It seems. Seems like you're on what 15. You're up to how long?
I might be 17.
You might be 17. Yeah, I'm at 5 right now. Yeah. So you're doing good. Doing good. I don't have a goal, but I gotta get the number high. I still got the motivation. Yeah. So I set I want 40. I had 40 last year and I missed it by 3.
Oh man.
And last year I had a bomber year. I had the most browns, the most sheds, and the only thing I don't think I had was the most sheds in a day. Okay. I need to hit 10. I need to do double digits. That's what we want.
Tomorrow's the day.
Tomorrow's the day. Yep. Tomorrow's the day. I like it. Positive attitude. You're gonna pick that one up on the end.
Okay.
So that one you're getting ready to look at. That one is the first antler off of a buck I had on game camera that I found.
Okay. Dude, I love the eye guard. Just everything about that.
And I found him like as a crow flies, probably 2 miles away. Yeah. As you'd walk, 3 to 4 miles. Yeah. And it was on the tippy top. Okay. All by itself. Yeah. Not a thing around it. But he came in 3 years. And that was the only shed that I ever found of him. Yeah. And he disappeared. But I see you had some game camera videos. Are you going to do more of those?
Yep. Yeah. Let's see here. Last year or the year before, that was my first year ever like getting serious about cameras. I mean, I set a few out here and there, but I never like had the thrill of, I'm going to go set cameras out. And then last year, I found a spot that just produced a lot of fresh sheds. And I was like, you know what? I got to put some cameras in here. Yeah. And that's what really kind of got me hooked, was just finding the sheds and then like got to know what's living in here. Yep. And it just kind of like, oh, dude, this is fun. And so I went and bought like, 15-inch trail cameras after that. And
nice.
And I definitely want to start putting more footage out, but it's just I got to get the months of getting the footage to really start posting stuff. Yeah. So I think next week actually I'm going back to that spot. Yeah. And I got like 4 cameras soaking in there right now, so hopefully that will produce.
Well, you got tons of good snow. Yeah. maybe you get one of those elusive shedding bucks right in front of the camera.
Yeah.
I would love to get one of those where they just drop it right in front of the
Yep.
camera. That'd be cool.
No.
But no. If I had to choose, and like I suddenly couldn't eat meat anymore, like any meat.
Yep.
I would take the shed hunting and the game cameras over hunting.
Yeah.
Over the actual hunting of it. It's just, I like the, you never know what you're going to get. You never know what you're going to find.
Yep.
With the shed hunting. I mean,
Yep.
you could have nothing, which those are really kind of rough days.
Yeah.
When you nothing.
Yeah.
You're like, I saw some good area. I'm tired. I stink. I had poison oak head to toe. I didn't find nothing. You come home, your wife's like, so how'd it go? Oh, it went great. What'd you find? Nothing.
Yeah.
I was like looking at you like, okay, you're crazy. You're like, yep, I am crazy.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no, just looking at it and going, hey, what can I do to get some exercise, get out, enjoy the outdoors.
No, I'd have to agree with you. I've never said this on camera, but I think I would definitely pick shed hunting over deer hunting if it ever came down to it.
Yep.
I mean, I love hunting. I love it. It's my passion. But after a while, it kind of seems like a chore towards the end of the year. I've never had shed hunting seem like a chore to me.
No,
I don't know, man.
Never. No, shed hunting has never been a chore. The hunting, it gets, in some of my videos, it's like I've talked about, like I've done, it's a grind. Like this last year was my third day. I was done.
Yeah.
And I had years past where I've done 13 days out.
Mm-hmm.
And like some people are like, they'll go from one state to another, or they'll have multiple, the way their tags work and how they have landowner, they have stuff like they're hunting, like they're hunting like 2 months, 3 months, and it's like, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I don't know if I'd want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a different state, like have like a different state tag. Right. And like do like a week or two out of different state, something different.
Yeah, something new.
Might, but I would not. I don't even know what I'd do if I could shoot 2 deer.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what? I don't know if I'm supposed to do this or not. But
I don't know.
Shed hunting, you're right. That's a good point. It's never been a chore.
Yeah.
It's always been fun to. Okay, I'm gonna get out there. We're gonna find something. And I pray that I find one.
Yep.
I ask for just, Lord, let me come home with one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what it looks like. Like the first one I found this year was old, mossy, and crusty. If I would have found a better one, it probably would have stayed in the woods. But it was the only one I found for that day, and so it came out with me. But it's like, I found one.
Mm-hmm.
Can't argue with that.
No, I'm trying to have a better attitude this year because it seems like last year, I'll usually go back and watch my videos. And there was one video in particular where I said quantity over quality. And I found myself complaining a lot in that video that I was only finding garbage. And, I got to thinking about it. I was like, man, there's still sheds. That's why I'm here. Like, why am I complaining? So that's another goal of mine this year is to be more happy about just finding anything. And you know what? If God's going to bless me, He is. And even if He blesses me over old sheds, that's awesome. I'm just still finding sheds. So that's my goal is to have a better attitude this year about sheds about finding anything. So
yeah, I mean, it's I think we can all do that. Like, another crusty one. Yeah. Wow, this one's like a quarter piece.
Yep.
I think that's. But yeah, looking at it as you're coming out with something.
Yep.
That would be to go to that attitude, to go to that how to look at it. It's like you're coming out with something. It might not be what you're really wanting.
Yeah.
But you found something. Mm-hmm. It was what you were looking for. Because like I say, how many days did you go and you never found anything?
Yeah, exactly.
Go for miles and miles and you never find anything.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that I find are rough is when you find them right off in the morning, like 20 minutes into your hike, you find a nice, and then you don't find anything for hours, and you're like, should I just turn around and went back home at that point, like call it good, and then you stumble into something like this.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I guess I shouldn't have. I guess I should have just kept on going. It's a good thing I did.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have found this one. But,
man.
you know, yeah, so it's, and then sometimes that's the only one you find is the first one of the day.
Exactly.
And you don't get anything else after that. It's just like,
yep. That's how it goes. But
no, I find, I think one of the reasons I had a really good year last year was I was pushing myself to find new areas. I was pushing myself to go to areas that I maybe had just went into and just looked.
Yeah.
And went, and then came back out.
Right.
And I think that's one of the things I got to motivate myself and keep myself on is like, oh, I looked at this spot earlier and it wasn't quite the time of year that maybe I should have been in there. Maybe it'll be good this year. Because I found a lot of spots that I went years ago. Yeah. And I went in out and I came out and like, I don't know why I went in there. That's, you know. And you have those spots where you're like, I ain't ever doing that again. I don't care what's in there. I ain't going back there again.
Yep.
But then I've went back in for one reason or another, and I'm like, wow, I just hit it at the wrong time of year, or I don't know. It's really good in there. I need to go back in there some more. I need to hit it at this angle or try to. Yeah. And so I think that's what gave me a good year last year, was hitting different spots, and or revisiting spots that I'd hit before. Yeah. And I didn't quite think were worth either going back in or didn't look good, so I just we're gonna patch those on the side. But I can say that there are a lot more people shed hunting nowadays. It's like but no, it's definitely a passion of angst. Yeah. Like Steven, he bless his heart, he went out with me in I think it was April last year. Okay. And of course the poison oak. You had your parents where they are. They have poison oak. So you know.
I know. Yeah.
I'm like, if I could patent this somehow and make something out of this that would be like useful, boy, I'd be rich. Yeah. This is great. So he's like, I hate this poison oak. I can't do this. So he found the set that he found. Well, that we found together. He was trying to stay out of the poison oak. Yeah. So I dropped down the side. He'd stay on the top of the ridge, and he was running that ridge. Yeah. And he's like, I got another one. Yeah, I found this one. I found. I'm like, I go up there, and I'm thinking the one that I see is the one that he found, and it wasn't. It was. I didn't even see the other one that he'd actually found. And that was pretty cool to be able to match that up for him. That was pretty cool. And that was the first time that I'd done something like that with somebody else. Try to go out. I'd done birthday shed hunts with my adopted brother. Okay. Because we hold the same month for birthday, and so we'd go out. And I'd always drag him to places that just why he went with me, I don't know. Yeah. He knew what he was getting himself into 90% of the time. But he'd humor me, and we'd go out. And April starts to be the hard. April starts to be the hard month. Oh yeah. May is, and it just slowly works in, and by June, I'm like, okay, we're done.
June it gets hot and maybe smoky from fires, and it just loses motivation.
That green dot sure comes in. Like they timed that right, because I think this year it pretty much the roads opened and it went into fire season. Yeah, yeah. And it wasn't restricted right away, but it was pretty close to it. And I put a sticker on my dad's quad. Yeah. I'm like, I'm going to use this thing this year. So I did a couple runs with it, and it was actually kind of nice. Not being dog tired, getting to where I wanted to go. Like, this is nice. We're going to beat the system this year. We're going to get it done. I already got the tags. Perfect. We're in there. But we got. So you're going to try bow hunting. Yep. Did you draw your bear tag?
I never really bear hunt.
You don't bear hunt?
No, I have nothing against people bear hunt. It's just I've never really cared to eat bear. I mean, I like the sausage, but I don't know.
So we're going to do something new this year at the Zinn's household. Okay. So their rumor mill. The rumor mill was they tried to hit up Oregon to do the same thing they did in Washington, take the spring bear tags. Yeah. And rumor mill, because I looked into it a little bit, and it was coming from some legitimate sources
Mm-hmm.
that they were trying to do this, and I think the state was just like, no, we've already got it set. We're not dealing with this. Forget you. So I was like, you know what? Before they take it away, I'm gonna have to try to do this.
Yeah.
Because I'm like you. I deer hunt and I elk hunt.
Yeah.
And I don't elk hunt so much anymore because
Okay.
it just takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And energy to locate it. And they're not deer. I got that.
Mm-hmm.
I got that. We can handle that. And I don't have to shoot a big, I take my time now. Not like when I first started. It was first come, first serve.
Yeah.
And that served me well. But I was like, you know what? We're going to try to do this spring bear hunt.
Mm-hmm.
So I got Isaac, bought all of his stuff, $55 for a sports pack.
It's ridiculous nowadays.
I'm like, whatever, $55. Where was that when I was a kid? I could have used that. I could use it now.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I bought his. I put in for a spring bear, and he pulled it.
Yeah.
So April, gonna do this while doing that, but we're gonna switch it up and try to get some bear hunting in and do something different. I'm gonna try to pick up, see if they have leftover tags, and get one for myself. But we'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
But definitely, we're gonna try something different. We're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna try to get back into elk hunting.
Right on.
Do that. So one of the spots that I was looking at for us is through like 32 to 5 elevation.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know there's deer in there. I know there'd be sheds. There'd be some sheds in there, but I'm like, do we really want to go that high right now and try that when I don't have a clue if it's even worth it? So, but it's an area that I'm looking at, like, I know it would hold elk.
Yeah.
It should hold elk. So it'll be fun. We'll explore that later. But just trying new things, getting out and getting new things.
Yeah. Now, going back to the bear hunting, I think I might actually buy a tag because it'd be fun to, like I said, I got that long range rifle, and that'd be fun to poke a bear out there at 700 yards just for the shot rather than the meat itself.
Right.
But, well, I don't know.
Well, it's people would say it's a fawn saver.
Yeah. Exactly. No, exactly.
But and it's one of those things too. Though it's like it's another thing to get into because it's different tactics. It's different look, and it'll help Isaac in glassing.
Yep.
Because that's what he wants to do. That's what he wants. He wants to get into glassing deer.
Oh yeah.
To shoot deer, he wants to get that stuff. And I have no that's out of my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Like I didn't do that when I was rifle hunting. Not at all.
Yeah.
I love this. This thing is so killer.
It's crazy to me because, like I said, the other shed there, I'm pretty sure is the same buck. And if it is, it's crazy how different. Like it's still non-typical, but how different he grew in the other 2 years. I mean, if you tell me what you think, because I really think he's the same buck.
Those pedicles are darn close.
I really think he's the same buck. Like
they're super close, and if he's digressing, I mean, he's got the same very similar shape, and the nub of a eye guard. I mean, I'm leaning towards you. The mass is about the same. The pedicles are super similar.
I mean, if you look at this thing too, like he's got the same curve. This would be this point here.
Yep.
I think he's the same buck, and it's just crazy to me how different what we got going on now.
Oh, that's welcome to my house.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we hear that all the time. Sorry for the background noise.
Yep.
My studio isn't soundproof. But no, that's I would say that's the same buck. I think you're on something there.
Yeah, it's one of the coolest blacktail sheds I've ever found for sure.
No, that's cool. That oddity outside. Now, would you have shot him?
I would have shot him.
Okay. Because it's got that unique.
I love unique bucks. Like I would pick if I had a big, solid 4-point, typical or non-typical. I would have shot the non-typical all day.
Okay. So you're a non-typical guy.
Yeah, I like unique trash. mass. I like anything cool.
So I want to get that typical frame.
Yeah.
Big typical frame.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just want trash.
Yeah.
I just want trash after that.
Yeah.
Because I would like a good front forked with a good back forked buck. My area typically this is what you're getting. You're getting the crab claw. And I don't like these are great bucks. I could shoot if that's all I get for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I'm happy. Take it. We're good.
Yep.
Even if it's some of the smaller ones that I shot, it's I'm out. I'm enjoying. I get to eat it. We get to eat it.
Yeah.
Deer beer chili is great, by the way. But no, I like looking at like I said before, my wife goes, "Those are fingernail clippings." Ugh. What are you going to do with those? I'm like, I don't know. Well, what do you mean you don't know? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going to collect them.
Yeah.
Well, where are you going to store them all? I don't know. We'll find a place.
Exactly.
I'm like, think of it this way. This can be if I die, you can sell all of them and you can go on a trip or something.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I told my wife I want to be buried with mine.
Hey, put them in the casket with me. Nobody's gonna get my sheds.
Yep.
Come right with me. Oh, that'd be funny. That'd be cool. They'd probably last. Well, I mean, yeah, they'd probably last as long as you did.
Oh yeah.
In there. But no. So what we're looking to do, we're going to be hitting up Steven from Rogue Antler Arts, and we are going to be going out on a shed hunt. We haven't quite got the place or anything down yet, but we've been trying to do this, 3 years now? Something like that.
We just never can make it happen.
It's been a while. So we finally nailed it down. It seems like there's been some hiccups to try to slow us down, but it seems like everything's kind of meshing together to do it. And we're just, I'm praying that it just goes well, and that his trip down here, he gets at least one shed out of it. It's like one shed. Like if we can all find one shed, I feel that would be a super day.
Oh yeah.
And just have some fun, camaraderie,
Sure.
stories, do stuff like that, and just hanging out, getting to know each other a little bit better. My kids are all so, who's coming down?
Yeah.
I'm like, Trevor. Who's that? So I'm like, okay, YouTube time.
Oh man.
So, but no, I think the first time we actually met was the
youth shed
hunt a couple years ago that we did.
Yep.
And that was cool.
That was fun.
You added another little youngster to your ranks.
Yep, her name's Archer.
Yeah. I don't know where I was for that, but I'm like, I watched one of your videos. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah. He's 1.5 now, almost 2 basically. But yeah.
And your daughter's not much. She's 4
She's
or 5.
3.
3.
Yep.
So she is
almost 4, but
okay. So she's
a little younger. But she loves going out with me. Even I can't wait for the age to be able to take her like in the real spots. But I'm always taking her on the property, throw a shed in front of her, and she loves it. And she's like, "Oh, you going shed hunting? Can I go? Not this time. I'm sorry." But she loves it. Absolutely loves it. So I can't wait for the age to take her.
Yeah, it was fun. I did that similar thing. I went up to my parents' place and I took some sheds, and he's doing something like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I picked up another one. He would walk this way. And I'd go, okay, he's not.
Yeah.
And he almost caught me once. I went like this. I went like that. And he goes like this. He looks at me and he looks around. He's like this. Looks back at me like, what are you doing? I'm like, no.
Yep.
But no, that's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
He's our church does a fish camp.
Okay.
It's a boys and dads.
Mm-hmm.
So all males.
Cool.
And you go up on a Friday, and Saturday there's a fishing tournament and a bow shoot tournament.
Okay, that sounds cool.
And I have taken that since the rule was they had to be 5.
Yep.
So Isaac is 16 now.
Okay.
So all of but that favorite fun year of we can't do anything in a group, we've went.
Okay.
And it's always been fun.
Yeah.
It's always been fun. But I started when I was 5, and Roman's going to go this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to be 5 because his birthday's in July.
Oh yeah.
So it's the beginning of June.
Uh-huh.
But I told my wife, I'm like, I'm not making him wait a full year.
Yeah, just
so he's old enough to go. He can go with us. But it's going to be. I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to remember. I'm like, what was it like to have a little squirt that's like 5 years old? What did I do? Oh, I babysat a lot. Like we and he's good because he likes his older siblings, so he hangs with mostly older kids. Right. So there's going to be a handful of younger kids that'll be there with us. But yeah, no, we have like 60-ish people that end up coming up. Okay. And it's out of Howard Prairie.
Cool.
So we have a campground up there that we reserve every year. And they open it up. There was one year we had like 7 or 8 churches. Wow. Participated. Wow. It was probably one of the bigger years of groups that we had. Yeah. And it's a lot of fun.
That sounds cool.
We just look at we just sit there and we're watching the boys, and we'll just look at dads will just look at it and go, none of this goes back home. Yeah. None of it goes home. Yeah. Pine cone wars, like whittling sticks, all sorts of stuff. Hey, what can I burn? Like, moms are definitely not here because this would not be happening. Yeah. It's kind of fun though.
That's cool. Right on.
But no. What else? Anything come to mind? Anything?
No. I think that's wrapped up. Yeah. That's cool.
No.